Alright, welcome back. We've learned some things about Christopher Columbus. Who knows something about Christopher Columbus?
Oh.
Jacob.
He
Forgot. Okay, Geneva.
was trying to find a trade route to Asia.
Oh, very good. He was trying to find Asia, but then he was trying to find a trade route to Asia. Okay.
He was the first explorer that was recorded.
Okay, recorded doing what?
Exploring.
Okay, exploring, finding things. Xavier did something else?
He traveled to get spices.
He traveled because he wanted to get spices. Anybody else know what else he's going for?
Perfume, jewels.
Perfume and jewels. Whoa, good job, Xavier.
For land.
For land, you want to discover a land. Today we are going to learn more about Christopher Columbus by first watching a movie. Then yesterday we cut out some pieces and added them to our Explorer's Notebook. We're going to look at those. We're going to underline some things, find the important things about Christopher Columbus, and then we're going to do a play about Christopher Columbus. Okay? So let's watch the video first. See if you can find anything new that you didn't know about Christopher Columbus.
Legendary explorer Christopher Columbus was born in 1451 in a sea town in Italy and began sailing as a teenager.
He became probably one of the best dead reckoning, where he used a compass, one of the best dead reckoning sailors ever walked the planet.
Inspired by a letter from Paolo del Pozzo Toscanelli, Columbus believed that sailing west would be a faster way to get to India. After his idea was rejected in Portugal, Columbus went to Spain's King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella. They were intrigued with the idea and eventually gave Columbus the financing for the voyage.
The Queen said, well, what do we got to lose? Maybe he's right. And maybe that's why she did it. If he finds something, all good. If he sails off into the sunset, we never see him again, so what have we lost?
In August of 1492, Columbus set sail with the Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria. After 2 months, Columbus and his crew arrived in the present-day Bahamas, convinced this was India. They were greeted by the native population, and Columbus couldn't help but notice the gold they were wearing.
He had to prove that there was wealth there to justify himself to Ferdinand and Isabel. He had to bring back gold, he had to bring back spices.
After establishing a settlement on what is now Haiti and the Dominican Republic, then called Hispaniola, Columbus set sail for Spain.
Of course, he's immediately famous, he becomes a great hero, and the Spanish king and queen then have to decide how to exploit this very possibility that has come their way. So immediately they take their great heroic Captain Columbus and they put him in charge of a new voyage, which will be a voyage of colonization.
Upon arriving back in the Caribbean, Columbus found the settlement destroyed. Columbus enslaved the indigenous people, forcing them to mine for gold and rebuild the settlement. But the New World was not the golden paradise Columbus had promised. Conditions were poor and deteriorated further when Columbus left the settlement to explore the other Caribbean islands.
By the third voyage, they were having a hard time getting crew. This guy was crazy. Everybody died. There was no gold. You weren't going to get rich if you
That
were
sounds similar to Infinity Ring.
Cities paved with gold.
On the third voyage, Columbus would finally reach the mainland in Venezuela. But due to the mismanagement of Hispaniola, King Ferdinand had him arrested and returned to Spain. Though he was never convicted, Columbus had lost his titles and most of his wealth. After a final, unsuccessful voyage, he returned to Spain in 1504 and spent the last 2 years of his life bitter and disillusioned.
He felt that the Spanish crown had not treated him as well as they should have. I think Columbus probably went to his grave still believing that what he had found was Asia.
He didn't really
Okay,
find Spain.
so did you find out some new things
Yeah.
about him? Like what?
He killed everybody.
Okay, so yeah, we learned that a lot of times we learn that he is really good, but we learned that he actually made some bad choices,
Making a mine for gold.
like making a mine for gold. Like like when he came back, he enslaved them. What else? What are some other things you learned about him?
He got thrown in jail.
Okay, he got thrown in jail. Do you think at the end of his life, did he think that he was successful? How did he, they said he died, and did he think he was successful?
Thinking that was still in.
Yeah. Had he actually gotten to Asia?
No.
No, he had discovered this whole new place that Europe didn't know about. But did he realize that? No. And so there was some confusion there. Some things going on that Christopher Columbus, he did some good things, but he actually did some not so good things too. So let's see. We're going to learn some more about him by reading. So we need to bring some things with us to the bean table. Something to sit on, something to write with, and your explorer's notebook. Go. And let's see. Trey, you can come on over. There's an extra chair over here. Okay. Sarah, just you can get back to yourself. You're used to what? Ah, okay. Okay, everybody open up to the Christopher Columbus thing. Okay, take your pencil, just like we do in our science, when we underline and circle, we're going to underline important things as we read through it, okay? Christopher Columbus was born in Genoa, Italy in 1451. Do you think it's important to know where he was born and when? Okay, so let's just, I'm just going to underline Genoa, Italy in 1451. Because here's the thing, if we underline all of it, does that mean any of it's important? No, we won't be able to pick those things out. Let's keep reading. It's okay. Genoa was a seaport, and Christopher learned about sailing from the sailor stories. He went out to sea as a fisherman when he was a teenager. Let's underline that. Went out to sea as a fisherman when he was a teenager. So that's not very long from when you guys are. Can you imagine going out to sea? You've been to a lake? Okay. I've been to a lake too, but I've never been out to sea. He also traveled with merchants who traded at Mediterranean ports. He studied map making in between voyages. Was Christopher Columbus preparing to be a sailor, do you think, by doing these things?
Yeah.
What kind of things was he doing that would help him become a sailor or explorer someday?
Not being seasick, but...
Okay, not being seasick? Kind of like getting used to the sea, is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, getting used to the sea. Getting experience. What else was he learning that would help him be a good explorer someday?
He was making maps.
He was learning about making maps, studying it.
He was listening to the sailor stories.
Oh, he was listening to their stories. Does listening to people's stories help you get experience?
Yes.
Okay. Next paragraph. In 1476, Columbus moved to Portugal. He became an expert at navigating. Let's underline that. Expert at navigating. If you were to go out to sea and explore someday, would it be important to know how to navigate?
Yes.
What is navigating then?
Knowing where to go.
Okay, knowing where to go, finding your way. What did we learn the other day about explorers? How did they learn how to navigate? The stars. They would use the stars because they didn't have any computers or internet or anything like that. He studied all the travels of Marco Polo. We learned about him. Polo had been to Asia and wrote about the land being rich in spices, jewels, and silks. Columbus wanted to travel to Asia too. Let's underline that. Columbus wanted to travel to Asia too. So we kind of know that Columbus eventually found for Europe, North America. But is that what he set out to do? What did he set out to do?
To find Asia.
To find Asia. All of the sailors that had been to Asia always traveled east. But Columbus thought it would be faster to sail west. He didn't know that America stood in his way. For 10 years, Christopher Columbus asked many European rulers if they would fund his voyage. Wow. For 10 years, he kept trying to ask people. Finally, in 1492, Spanish rulers, let's underline this, King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella agreed to pay for 3 ships. And what are those 3 ships? The Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria. You can circle those 3. The Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria. Columbus and a crew of 90 men sailed across the Atlantic Ocean. It was a difficult voyage. The crew members were very unhappy with Columbus because it was taking so long. Some even talked of turning the ship back to go home. Finally, on October 12th, 1492, land was sighted. Go and underline that, October 12th, 1492. This is the day that we celebrate Columbus Day here in the States.
You celebrate it?
Mm-hmm. Sometimes you get off school. Columbus and his crew landed on an island in the Bahamas, which Columbus named San Salvador. He thought he had landed in the East Indies, so when the native people of the island came to investigate the strange ships, Columbus called them Indians. Why? Because he thought he was in Asia, but specifically what country? The Indies. India. Does it make sense why the name has stuck that it's Indians? That's what he called them. Even though, were they from India?
No.
No.
But I can't believe Christopher Columbus made him suffer that much to dig for gold.
Oh, yeah, because what happened, do you think?
He got used to being wealthy. He got cruel.
Yeah, he liked success, didn't he? Yeah. For the next 10 weeks, they sailed around the Caribbean exploring the islands, including Hispaniola and Cuba. When Columbus returned to Spain, he was treated like a hero. Columbus traveled in the Americas 3 more times. Underline that. Columbus traveled to the Americas 3 more times before he died in 1506. Let's underline 1506. Always believing he was in Asia. So let's look. I'll grab the globe real quick. Or actually, we can just look right here. You guys can see this? Here's Spain. Here's where he was born in Italy. And here was, he had moved to Portugal. Remember it told us, and then, so he's in Spain. That's who's told him they would let him sail for them. And so he sails over here. And he goes west, because here's India, and here's where he wants to get. But he decides to go west. And he gets down here to these islands. And he lands here. Those are the Bahamas. And he sees that they have dark skin. And they have gold. And they have riches. And he likes that. And so he starts going around different places and he finds, okay, these are some good things. So he takes them back to the king and queen. King and queen, do you think they're happy to get gold? Yeah. So they send him back. Well, when he gets back there, what do we learn had happened? His colony was gone. The Indians had burned what he called the Indians. They had kind of destroyed it, so he got mad at them and he made them be his slaves. And so now the next 3 trips he takes, they aren't successful because is he finding silk? Well, silk's in India, so is he going to find it over here?
No.
Is he finding the spices that are in India?
No.
No, so he's not finding the things that he thought he was going to, and that really frustrated the Spain king and queen.
He was really looking for spices, but then he went to Asia and started looking for gold.
Yeah, you're right, and then he kind of got greedy, didn't he, and treated the people badly. It told on the video, people didn't even want to sail for him. They didn't want to be on his crew because he started treating people badly, because like you said, Xavier, he got greedy. And he wasn't treating people well anymore. And so he died thinking he had actually still found India. He thought he'd found Asia. But had he?
No.
No, the Americas stood in his way. It wasn't until after his death some other explorers realized, wait a second, that's a different place here. And then we become called the Americas. Excuse me. So what's that? You're fine.
Some people get hanged.
Yeah, some people did. You're right. Let's flip over to this. Should be okay. Let's look at the questions here. It says, what were his years of exploration? Well, what year let's look back at our reading. What year did he explore? He start exploring 1492. So go ahead and write in there 1492.
Years of exploration.
Yep, you can just write the year 1492 and then add,
Year.
yep, under years of exploration. And then put plus 3 more trips. He took 3 more trips after that. That was his first trip. He took 3 more trips after that.
Like the plus sign?
Mm-hmm. You can just do the plus sign if you want.
Plus 3 more.
Trips. The sponsoring country. That means the country that gave him the money to go sail. What country was that? Spain. Spain's the one that gave him the money. So it's the second sail down underneath where you just wrote. Mm-hmm.
Spain.
That's Spain. Good. Let's go to the big sail. What does the big sail say?
Reasons for exploration.
Reasons for exploration. Well, why did he want to go explore?
To find gold, spices.
Well, first he wanted to find what place?
Spices.
He wanted to find Asia. So he wanted to find Asia. India is very exact. He wanted to find Asia. He wanted to find India.
Find Asia.
And what else?
How do you spell Asia? A-S-I-A.
Yep, very good. A-S-I-A. Asia and
India.
silks. S-I-L-K-S.
Silks, spices,
Mm-hmm.
perfume,
Spices.
and jewels.
Yep, Xavier's got it. Spices. So you got some silk, some spices,
Jewels.
jewels. He wanted to find all these things that Marco Polo had talked about being over there in
Silk, spices, jewels, and perfume.
and perfume. Yep, you can put perfume.
Well, why perfume?
Because you could sell it for lots of money.
They had perfume.
So what was this all about? Getting
Money.
Yeah.
He got money anyways because he was shooting the people bad.
Yeah. And he ended up getting gold, didn't he? What were some obstacles that he ran into?
The Americans or the Americans.
Okay, so what about the Americas? So
They were in his path.
okay, so he didn't get to India because he didn't know about America. You can put or no knowledge of the Americas, or he ran into the Americas.
Because he did not know.
Yeah, he did not know about the Americas. Good. Well, I need to get you a bigger pencil.
Yeah.
Anything else? Okay, storms maybe. We don't know specifically that he had storms, but probably he ran into storms.
The crew wanted to turn back.
So the crew was very
Tired.
or
Sick of it.
sick of him. When you're really mad, that means you are not happy. So the crew was unhappy. So you can just put unhappy crew. If you don't have enough room, you can just draw a line to it and write it somewhere else if you want. Crew was unhappy. But finally, he did have some accomplishments. Even though sometimes,
He was bad.
yeah, he was bad or he maybe
got
treated people bad eventually.
He got money.
What did he...
He found a new land.
Okay, he found new land for Europe, right? For the Europeans. Were there already people here? Yes, the land was already discovered, but he found it for Europe.
He recorded it.
And he recorded it, yeah. So you can put he found new land for
They had
Europe.
cameras. How do you spell Europe?
Recorded as in wrote it down, made a record of it.
Oh.
Europe, capital E.
He found new land for
O-P-E.
U-R-R-O-P-E.
And what was the other really cool thing that Christopher Columbus did that really not a lot of explorers got to do that many times?
Go to Asia.
Go again. He didn't end up going to Asia. He actually just found the Americas. He didn't get over to Asia. How many times did he get to travel?
3 times. 4.
Well, 4 times. He went his first time and then 3 more. So he traveled how many times? 4 times.
But it's
And then because it told us he landed in 1492.
and he kept
And then he went at the bottom, what does it tell us? He went 3 more times. So there'll be 3 more, so it'd give us a total of 4. Okay, he went again. Why don't you put, he went again 3 more times. You can put on the next line. So he did a lot of really good things too.
3 more.
Okay, go ahead and turn your page after you filled that in, and then you have a globe on page 8. And we're going to mark with our globe where he went. See if you can put your finger on the spot where you think Christopher Columbus made it to by looking at our... Where do you think he went to? Does everybody see where America is? And you see the United States there? It's off the tip of Florida, so go down below the tip of Florida. There you go, you just had it. And it's those islands right down there, that little group of islands. Let's see if everybody's right. Good job. Where are they at? Good job. A little lower. Yep, you had it. Good job. So let's put a little star right there on those islands. So you can put a star. And we're going to write the word San Salvador beside it, because that's where he went. So S-A-N, capital S-A-N, that's San. And Salvador, capital S-A-L-V-A-D-O-R. San Salvador. And that marks where he first landed. Okay, and then he explored some other area in there, the islands. And you can close your explorer's notebook now. Each of you have in front of you a play. This is a 4-act play. We are going to split up the parts.
I'll be Columbus.
Okay, you want to be Columbus?
Yes. I'll be King.
Okay, let's. I'll let Xavier be Columbus.
I'll be the king.
You want to be the king, Trey?
Wait, which one? King?
Queen, Sarah or Geneva? Do you want to be the queen?
Are you King
Ferdinand.
Is that Trey?
Yeah.
Sarah can? Okay, Sarah, you want to be the queen? Queen Isabella.
Where's that?
That's the 4th one, or the 3rd one.
She's in there.
Anybody narrator?
Okay.
Jacob, the narrator.
Jay.
Jim and Craig, you guys gonna split up the rest of the parts? Let's see. I'll be the Spanish sailors and the Tano. Jacob is. Rodrigo.
Wait,
You wanna be a Rodrigo, Craig?
Miss Shrek, isn't
The
yours
first sailor?
S-C?
Yes.
Okay, and what else are you?
Craig's gonna be Rodrigo de Triana.
I want to be Toronto people. Sarah,
You wanna be the other Rodriguez too, Craig? That way we don't have to. There's only 6 of us. Rodrigo. Okay.
There's 3
Yep, you're all 3 of them. Geneva, we'll let you be the translator. Geneva will be the translator and the Tano.
I'll be tornado people.
Okay.
Tornado people.
The Tano people, that's the Native American tribe that he actually found.
The Tano chief.
We'll let you be that too. We'll kind of go through and look. We'll read through it the first time today, and then we'll act it out
Tano people.
next week.
Geneva.
Geneva. Okay.